The Battle of France, 10 May, June 25, 1940, also known as the Western Campaign, Westfeldzug, the French Campaign, German, Frankreichfeldzug, Campagne de France, and the Fall of France, was the German invasion of France, Belgium, Luxembourg and the Netherlands during the Second World War. On September 3, 1939, France declared war on Germany following the German invasion of Poland. In early September 1939, France began the limited Saar Offensive and by mid-October had withdrawn to their start lines. German armies invaded Belgium, Luxembourg and the Netherlands on May 10, 1940. Italy entered the war on June 10, 1940 and attempted an invasion of France. France and the Low Countries were conquered, ending land operations on the Western Front until the Normandy landings on June 6, 1944. In Fall Gelb, Case Yellow, German armored units made a surprise push through the Ardennes and then along the Somme Valley, cutting off and surrounding the Allied units that had advanced into Belgium to meet the German armies there. British, Belgian and French forces were pushed back to the sea by the Germans. The British and French navies evacuated the encircled elements of the British Expeditionary Force, BEF, and the French and Belgian armies from Dunkirk in Operation Dynamo. German forces began Fall Rot, Case Red, on June 5, 1940. The 60 remaining French divisions and the 2 British divisions in France made a determined stand on the Somme and Aisne but were defeated by the German combination of air superiority and armored mobility. German armies outflanked the intact Maginot Line and pushed deep into France, occupying Paris unopposed on 14 June. After the flight of the French government and the collapse of the French army, German commanders met with French officials on 18 June to negotiate an end to hostilities. On June 22, 1940, the second armistice at Compiègne was signed by France and Germany. The neutral Vichy government led by Marshal Philippe Pétain replaced the Third Republic and German military occupation began along the French North Sea and Atlantic coasts and their hinterlands. The Italian invasion of France over the Alps took a small amount of ground and after the armistice, Italy occupied a small area in the southeast. The Vichy regime retained the Zone Libre, free zone, in the south. Following the Allied invasion of French Africa in November 1942, the Germans and Italians took control of the zone until it was liberated by the Allies in 1944.